Hello everybody, welcome back again. How are you all doing? Well, this is another case of fraud file. Yes, this is another case of fraud file. I'm gonna quickly share my screen with you. And why do I want to share my screen with you? I've brought you another fraud file case which involves a Nigerian guy that was recently arrested by the US. So this is the website. Like I always say to you on this channel, like I'm not forming these stories. This news was shared by the US Department of Justice and it was released on the 29th of September, which was just 2 days ago. It says that Nigerian national extradited from Poland to face elder fraud charges in the US. So you guys can see for yourself there. So I'm going to stop sharing just now. So as you guys can tell from that video, from that screen there, that yes, another Nigerian brother was arrested and is now facing almost 20 years to 25 years in in US prison. So what actually happened? From that screen there, you guys can see what the title was, and I'm just going to run you through what actually happened. So from my notes here, it's been mentioned that this is a sweeping international law enforcement move. Okay, like I said, is a Nigerian national who has been extradited from Poland to the United States, and he now faces serious federal charges tied to an elder fraud scheme. This case underscores the global reach of fraud investigators and the Justice Department's commitment to protecting American citizens. Yes, so like I said, he's a Nigerian guy. Let me find his name actually. He is called Tochukwu Albert Enebocha and he's a 43-year-old. So he's an Igbo guy. In as much as I don't promote tribalism on my channel, I posted a video of where a Yoruba Nigerian guy was also arrested and extradited from the UK to the US. And I saw some tribalistic bigots in the comment section saying, "Oh, thank God he is not Igbo. Thank God he is Yadiba. Thank God he's Yadiba." Like, you know what? Like I said, I am not one of the people who condone tribalism. But if some of you are coming across that way, maybe I should start bringing out the story and say it is not just tribes, because I've always said is that when they report news like this, they are not saying Nigerian Yoruba, they are saying Nigerian. So if you like, let it be 100,000 Yorubas that are doing this fraud thing. When they report it, they'll still say a Nigerian and then their name. That's what they will tell you. So anyway, to the story, it says that like I said, his name is Toshiko Albert Inebocha. He's a 43-year-old Igbo Nigerian guy. He was extradited from the Republic of Poland and brought to the US to face allegations of orchestrating a transnational inheritance fraud scheme targeting elderly Africans. Targeting elderly Americans, African scheme. As of today, he made his first appearance in federal high court in Miami. That was on Monday, the 29th of September. Yes. So according to the Department of Justice documents, Inebocha, our uncle, our Igbo brother Tochukwu, was arrested in Poland in April of 2025 following an indictment filed in the Southern District of Florida. So since his arrest, he has remained in custody in the US. But you guys will ask me, what was he accused of? So let me break it down. Let's break it down, break it down, break it down. So over a span of 5 years, our Tochukwu Nnebucha brother and his co-conspirators allegedly carried out a sophisticated inheritance fraud, and their method that they used was sending personalized letters. Yes, they were sending personalized letters to senior citizens, that is elderly people in the US, falsely stating that the recipient was owed a multi-million dollar inheritance from a deceased relative in Spain. And I don't know how people fall into this, because like I said, if you are not expecting money from anyone, if you don't have a relative in that country where the letters arrived from, why do you think it is true? Why do people fall for it? It's just like somebody sending me an email or sending me a letter now that I am their lost, they are my lost long relative, and that they are in Cape Town or whatever, that have wanted, like you should know that that story is just too good to be true. Anyway, the letter now go on to claim that they acted as agents of a Spanish bank, but, and this is the hook, guys. Yes, there's a hook. They insisted that before the inheritance could be released, the recipient needed to pay delivery fees, taxes, or other payments to avoid government scrutiny. I've received emails like this before in my when I was in the days when I was using Yahoo email. Yes, hopefully maybe if I go through my old junks, I might be able to find some of these emails that I received that I need to pay so to clear the money or to open a container or more. You need to wise up. Anyway, victims then wired money to accounts controlled by the defendant or to intermediaries, often US-based former victims who had been roped in and convicted or convinced to forward funds onward. So the way they do this, they will have found a war mugu or somebody that's previously fallen into their hands as a victim. So once that person is not able to get more money from them anymore, they will now start using their previous victim to act as a middleman and their next victim. So with the middleman now, they will promise the middleman some sort of change. And that person will now be using their middleman, who happens to be their previous victim, will now be using his or her own name to collect money from other Americans. That's how they do it. And you guys will be wondering, like, that mom of five, how do you know this? That's because I've seen email. And when I was in Nigeria, I know people, like when I was in Nigeria, I know people that actually do stuff like that. And you and I, that you are looking at me, that you cannot tell me that you've not come across people who do stuff like that. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. So let me keep, explaining to you guys furthermore. So sadly, after these victims have now paid those money, send that money to them, none of the victims ever received this. None of the victims who sent money to their magas never ever received the supposed inheritance. Essentially, the system was a trap to siphon off their savings, their life insurance, their inheritance that they are either saving for their own children or their grandchildren. The charges lodged against Inebocha Tochukwu Albert include conspiracy to commit mail fraud and wire fraud, as well as individual counts of mail fraud and wire fraud. So he appeared in the court on the 29th of September before U.S. Magistrate Judge N. Jolik Lett of the Southern District of Florida. If convicted, our Igbo brother could face up to 20 years in federal prison. The actual sentence, however, will depend on federal sentencing. Okay, it will depend on federal sentencing guidelines and additional statutory factors. So now, this is not the first time a scheme like this has been prosecuted. There are two other defendants, and guys, if you go onto my channel as well, you find one of the story of these guys. One of them is Hehis Lawrence Akime. That one was extradited from the UK, and then this other one, I've actually not seen his story. Maybe I'm going to go find out about his story. So this one is Okeze Bonaventure Ogbata. That is another. I don't know if it's an Igbo, but that name sounds okay. So each of these two guys I've just mentioned to you, they were sentenced by Judge Roy K. Altman to 97 months behind bars for their roles in this fraud ring. So that Lawrence Akime, I'm going to link the card to the video of him, his own crime that he committed. I'm going to link the card somewhere here for you to watch, okay? So the investigations are being led by the U.S. Postal Inspection Services and Homeland Security Investigation. So this case is also part of the DOJ's broader efforts to shield senior Americans from a variety of confidence schemes, whether romance fraud, lottery scams, tech support fraud, or grandparent scam. That's how they call it. So for instance, when we're talking about grandparent scams, romance fraud involves, feigning romantic interest to extra money. That's how it comes. Anybody who says they love you on a dating app and they're not asking you to send money to them, don't fall for it, okay? Lottery fund convinces victims they've won a prize but must pay for a fee. They must pay a fee to get their money. You've not paid lottery, and somebody now contacted that you have paid you've won a lottery. Like, did you play a lottery that you've now been told that you won a lottery, and they're now saying to you that before you cash out that lottery, you must send money to them. You should be able to know that that is fake. It's not real. Tech support fraud trick victims into believing their device was broken. So yeah, they'll message you that your device is broken. That's why they're not able to access it. So that you should either give them your login details, and if you do that, that's how they get into your system and then siphon, take all of your money. And then the grandparents can impersonate a family member in crisis demanding money. They might say, oh, it's a long lost sister in California. I just want to come home. I can't afford to buy a plane ticket. Could you? Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. So prosecutors on this case include senior trial attorney and transnational criminal litigation coordinator Phil Tumajian and trial attorney Josh Rothman from the DOJ's Consumer Protection Branch. So if you have family members who are 60 years or over, please, I think you should try and advise them that come, if we are not at the door, if we your family are not at the door asking you for something, if anybody else anywhere contacts you, either email, phone, text messages asking for money, please don't even acknowledge it. Don't acknowledge it. And I know some of these people, because yes, they are elderly people, they are frail, they can be easily getting across to. So it's also important for family also to also check in on them, and also to make sure that just let them know. If we are not, like I said, if you are not at the door, don't let anybody come asking for money. If anybody asks for money, don't give to them. If that's the case, call us first, And I know at some point they might feel disappointed that they've allowed themselves to be, scammed, or they've allowed money to be taken off them by someone they don't know, and they might not even want to tell their family. Please, if you're that person, elderly person, and somebody is actually telling you now that you should send money to them, please don't send such money. Okay, don't send such money, guys. Let me know what your thoughts and opinion are in the comment section. Like I said, I do not condone being tribalistic on my channel, but I've seen a few people addressing comments saying, "Oh, Nigerian, Yoruba, Yariba, Yoruba, Yariba." Like, it's not Yorubas, it's all across. Like I said, Nigerians. Not be only Yoruba people they do fraud. Every pair, like every tribe in Nigeria, every tribe in Nigeria. Like I said, this is going to be like a series of something that's going to be coming up on my channel, and I'm going to be titling them fraud files. People are committing fraud, and like I've always said, you have a chance to leave Nigeria, to come abroad, to be in a different environment that at least you are still slightly respected in a little bit, and you decide that it is fraud, that you decide that you don't want to use this your two hands to work, that you want to be chopping people's money. Now you chop people's money. If convicted now, it could be spending 20 years in prison. Anyway, guys, I'm rounding up this time. I'm rounding up this video. Okay, so this case is a stark reminder that modern fraud often spans continents, and the DOJ says it will continue to pursue those who exploit vulnerable Americans. So some Nigerians will now open a year. Americans say they will continue to pursue those scammers. Okay, especially those who are contacting, who are scamming elderly people. So as the legal process unfolds, this extradition marks just one chapter in a fight against cross-border scams. Now they will extradite you. Americans don't care. They've extradited Nigerians from Nigeria to the US to come and serve their jail sentence. So if you think you can run, keep running. One day they will find you. Okay. Anyway, with that being said, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinion in the comment section. Do you think this guy, like, he was from Poland? He was already in Poland. He was already in an European country doing. I mean, I want to believe he has a good life because it's not in Nigeria, right? But he still chose a life of crime. Guys, let me know what your thoughts and opinion are in regards to him spending almost 20 years in jail. And so far, we don't know how much exactly he defrauded people of, but I'm sure by the time he's found guilty or sentenced, they will also let us know. And if I find an update, I'll definitely bring the update to you guys. With that being said, I remain that number 5, and yes, stay tuned for more fraud file cases that I'm going to be bringing here. With that being said, if you've watched till now and you've not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you've not yet done so, turn on your post notification, share this video, do not hesitate to join my membership, and I hope to catch up with you in another video. All right, bye for now. Bye.